Okay, Assalamualaikum and a very good day. To this video is for feedback, okay, or respond for the feedback that you have given last week. Okay, there's several questions there. Of course, it's quite challenging also, and it's good. It's good for me because I'm also, when you ask certain questions, it's actually um, it actually make me to refresh my knowledge in C programming. Of course, I have lived C programming long time ago, and currently I'm in lot of project I'm doing in research. I'm using MATLAB, and currently I am also trying to explore Python, okay, Python programming language. But of course, C is the one that is uh, we can consider as essential for those who want to go for programming, because if you manage to learn C programming, then you can easily adapt a new modern language in the market right now. Okay, let's go to the first question. Okay, doctor, can you provide us with a tutorial video that you do, because I want to see the method to solve the mathematical operation. Okay, of course, I find out that the video lectures provided by Dr. Tan is quite simple. So, of course, the purpose is he want you to explore by yourself, but maybe you are not confident enough. I show some examples there. Okay, let's discuss about this example here, writing the mathematical functions in C, because I also don't I think this is the best thing, the best way to show the example, because we just discuss the example in the slide rather than find other function from the other source. Okay, this is how to calculate the slope. Okay, the slope from the equation, linear equation. So we can just write in our online compiler here. Okay, again, you don't have to, of course you can delete this part. Okay, instead of delete that one, maybe you can write at the above that instruction. So in order for you to show that function, one way is, of course, if you want to see the result of m, you need to use a printf. That is how we want to display the data through our screen, by using printf. Okay, so, and of course, if we talk about the slope in general, slope can be floating number. Okay, in general, in practical, it can be floating number. It's not integers. Same goes to y2 and y2, y1, x2 and x1. So then you just declare float. Okay, I want to declare my variable float. I have x1 and then x2, and then I have y1, and then I have y2. Okay, then of course, from there is actually, then you can set what is the value of your x1, x2, y1 and y2. Okay, don't forget about m as well, m. And then let's say after that I just set my x1 equal to 1 equal to 1, and then my y1 equal to, just put any random number there first, and then x2 equal to 4.5, then y2 equal to 7. Okay, then how to create that function, as you can see from the slide there. Okay, as in the slide there, this is the expression in C programming that represent this equation. So m is equal to, just copy back that one, y2 minus y1, and then divide with bracket x2 minus x1, and you put the semicolons there. Of course, if you want to see the result, you need to print and print f. Of course, because your m now is a floating, then you need to use a percent f. Okay, sorry, you need to put apostrophe percent f, where your f is actually your floating number that you want to display in that percent f is your m. Okay, that is the format how to print the floating number in a text. Okay, because when you put apostrophe, it's considered the one that inside this apostrophe is the text, but because you want to display the m is not text or it's not string, then that's why this format is compulsory for you to. It's like a sign that will convert your floating number into string, then it can display here. Okay, it's different from hello world. Hello world is already in the string, but m is not string, or it's not char. It's a floating. The type of the variable, this variable m is floating, so that's why you use percentage f to give a sign to this space of string, that the variables which is type floating is you want to display as a string. Okay, so just comment this one, I think you have to comment this one, and then you can run it, so you get that. Okay, this is that is the value after you do slope, or you find the slope between these four 2-point coordinate. Okay, x1 y1, x2 y2. Maybe you can use your calculator to calculate whether it's correct or not. Okay, of course, if you see this example, it's not quite interesting, or it's not quite interactive, because you need to change the values here before you run the program, which is not good, because in practical you want to do something where when you run the program, and then the program will ask the user to key in the value by itself, and it will display the output directly. So you are not, the user will not interact with the code inside the program, but it just interact with the program interface, which is this screen here, and the code is run behind, that is what the purpose of developing some kind of algorithm or some kind of software. You don't want the user or client to see the code. You just want the client to use your algorithm, not going through the detail about what's the program inside that software or that apps. So one way to do is that you need to use a scanf, which is the one way to give the input, to give the input to your programming or your algorithms. Okay, so of course, if you want to do something like that, then you must, one way is to do interactive. Of course, you want to first, before you using your scanf, you can use a printf to display some instruction to the user first. Okay, first maybe you can say, please enter x1. Okay, please enter x1, and then you ask the instruction, the instruction to the user to enter enter x1. Then you need to scan the input key in input that given by the user. That is function of scanf, because scanf will take any input from the user, and it will use that data to execute next instruction. Okay, so of course here you will because you want because your x1 you declare as a floating, then you need to use percent f again, and then comma, and then you put the and symbol, and you want the user key in data to be stored in your variable x1. Okay, so that's how it's look like. So when you ask the user please enter x1, when the user key in the value of x1, that one will be transferred into this variable x1. That is the purpose of having this here. Okay, then of course you want this instruction to be executed 4 times, that represent x1, x2, y1 and y2. Okay, I just make it paste there. Okay, so you can delete this one because the variables now is depend on the data that key in by the user, where that data will be stored here. One is execute this scanf, each scanf here, and then it will execute the same way, and then it will print the result there. So maybe we can write something here which is make it more meaningful. So the result m is equal to, okay, something like that. Okay, now let's run the functions. Oh, sorry, I forget to put semicolons there. Okay, see, this is it will display. This display is actually after executing this part. Now the compiler or the CPU is waiting for the user to key in. Once you key in the value and you click enter, that value will be stored in this x1. Okay, because of this scanf here. So I just put some random number. I put 3, enter, and then please enter x2, which is this part. Okay, I just put some number there, 3.6, enter. Please enter y1, which is this one, and then I just put 5.7, and then enter y2. I just put any numbers there, let's say just put that 8, then I enter. So you can see that when is execute this function, it will print the result m equal to what is the result here. So you might be check the result by using manual calculation. You calculate by your own calculators, see whether this algorithm is correct or not. So hope you can understand on how to use the scanf, which is coupled with printf. Because if you don't couple with printf, okay, if let's say I ignore this instruction in my program, okay, what will happen when you run the code? Okay, there's no instruction. Of course, the user don't know what actually the user want to do. But actually, the user now the CPU is waiting for user to key in some value, and that value when you press enter, it will store in x1. But because there's no printf there, so now instruction, the user don't know what to do. Of course, actually you without printf, the coding or the program is still work, but the user don't know what to do. So because I'm the programmer, I know what my program is. So that's why actually I know that I need 4 numbers there. So I just put 4 numbers, 3.4, 6, 7.7, then I get the result. So that is what happens if you don't use printf coupled with scanf.